Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Ooh. Okay. Uh, this is the Let's Run podcast. Sorry, guys. Um, I don't think there's anything you could do but laugh tonight. Sorry. I muted myself because I couldn't. I couldn't. I can't, man. I can't. I can't with this loss. Oh, I can't with this team, man. I want to get on here tonight, guys, and give you guys serious and fact driven analysis about your running Rebels. But this team has to have one of the worst collective and I mean basketball IQs. I'm not trying to insult them individually, but this team has to have one of the lowest basketball IQs I can ever remember. This is as bad of a loss as you can possibly imagine. And listen, I wanted the Rebels to win. I would have been happy if they won. I didn't want them to lose, obviously. But never in the history of basketball has a team, there's never been one time where a team has deserved to lose a game more than this running Rebel team. They were so this is yeah. I mean, my professional Reno hater says it best. This is the dumbest loss in the history of basketball. I mean, not in the history of basketball. I'm sure there's a dumber loss somewhere out there, but it is the dumbest loss I can ever remember by a UNLV team. This is there. There are no words. There are no words for how bad this game was. And through 38 minutes, it was a very reasonable run and Rebel effort. This game went on for about 3 hours. And the Rebels' bad decision making that started early in the game came back to bite them in the butt. And when you treat basketball as with such disregard as Josh Pastner and these guys treated basketball tonight, I mean, you deserve to lose, and that is exactly what happened. Let's go through guys' comments. What did we just watch? I don't know. JD, Bill Carey, that was one of the worst officiated games I've seen in 30 years. Totally, terribly officiated game. It was awful. It ruined the flow of the game. Still, the Rebels were making as dumb, as dumb a decisions as you can possibly make as a team. I mean, just like how some of the fouls these guys were committing, just like what's the worst possible play I can make right here? The Rebels made like 15 of those in a row. Bill Carey says both way the refs were lost. Yeah, I mean, the refs absolutely destroyed this game. They had no idea how to control the flow of the game. Absolute trash. This is the worst team I've ever seen. It's the dumbest team I've ever seen. They're stupid, man. I mean, they're like, and again, this is basketball IQ. I'm not insulting these guys as individuals. I'm sure they're very smart, very good guys. But from the coach down to the red shirts, I mean, there's just and again, you saw it again with Pastor electing not to foul, and again getting burned. I mean, it's just the karma of this. UNLV is up 3 with 6 seconds to go, and they elect not to foul. And you end up with a tie game, and then UNLV turns the ball over off the inbound, and then they just the most predictable result of all time. What was that last inbound? It was a dumb team. It was a team that had no confidence in the game, that wasn't playing smart. It was not the Rebel starters. All the Rebel starters were in foul trouble on the bench, so it was UNLV's second unit. I can't help but laugh. Does Pastor step down now or what? I mean, no, he won't step down. But I mean, this is kind of a nail in the coffin type loss for the season. I mean, not that there was any hope, but I just and look, like I will take when UNLV, and look, I'm gonna say, and I could still be wrong about this, but when UNLV 2 or 3 years from now has to fire Pastner, I will have been more correct about Josh Pastner as a head coach than any human being has been correct about anything on planet Earth. I will have been more correct about this. And we're going to spend 2 or 3 years doing this experiment. And Josh Pastner's a great guy, and maybe I'm wrong. But I mean, goodness, man, your guys just do not respect basketball. They don't. They haven't all year. They've played dumb all year. And the basketball gods saw it fit to grant you the most humiliating defeat you can possibly imagine. I don't even know what to say. I have no words. We are going to be the laughingstock of college basketball for weeks. brother Tristan, we've been the laughing stock of college basketball for 12 years. You know, I don't know what to tell you, man. Clown Town. Yep. Pastor needs to be fired tonight. I'm not even exaggerating. They're not going to fire him. Sorry to burst your bubble. They're not going to fire him. I'm just as frustrated as you are, but they're not going to fire him tonight. 80 free throws. I think it's actually more free throws than that. Let's look. They're 10 and 12 now. Good job, Josh. What an embarrassing game. I just like real coaches don't coach games like this, man. Like it was a dumb hire and you get dumb result. I mean, you can't allow your team to play like this. I mean, there has to be a higher standard. And you know, I wish you would throw basketball IQ and your grit and toughness motto that you throw on, because the Rebels did a lot of good things for 38 minutes, but ultimately, like, I can't come on here and be like, oh, well, Dre played, like, none of it matters. Dre Gibbs Lawhorn and Howie Fleming both played pretty good games tonight, although Howie did have 5 turnovers. But Dre, like, stupidly got technical fouls that ended up in, he had 2 technical fouls, I believe. Actually, was it 3? Because he got a 6th one on the bench that ended up putting him in a position to foul out. Let's throw up the stats, because this is just one of the most hilarious. I mean, truly, the adage, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, has never been more applicable to anybody in the history of basketball as it was to UNLV. Just a horrendously played game. Yeah, it's going to suck, because we're going to have to, but I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do here. Like, this is such an unserious team. Like, this is so unserious. Let's go over the stats, I guess. Not that any of the stats matter. None of this matters at all. Dre Gibbs Lawhorn, while he played, was great, but again, he was an idiot and fouled out because he couldn't control his emotion and got stupid technical fouls. And the idiocy seeped through the entire roster as Kamani Hamilton. I don't think he picked up a tech, but so many of his fouls have nothing to do with the play. They're just him fouling guys 40 feet from the basket. So Kamani Hamilton fouls out. Isaac Williamson, I think most of his fouls were decently justified, because most of them were playing defense, but there were a couple that weren't great. Walter Brown, he was being asked as a 6'5" player to play center. So fair enough. Emmanuel Steffen, in 18 glorious minutes, was one of the softest players I've ever seen, had 2 turnovers and committed 5 personal fouls. Al Green, with a ridiculous wraparound foul that, ends up costing, Nas Cunningham with 4 fouls. Jacob Benarbi, he apparently dinged his knee up earlier in the game, but every minute that he was on the floor, you'd be rest assured that the Rebels were making dumb mistakes and giving up wide open threes. Just such a shameful performance. I guess it did finish up with 80 free throws. I thought it was more than that, but 80 free throws in this game. I'm not trying to excuse the officiating, but none of these things, like none of these, nothing about this loss is a result of things that were out of UNLV's control. UNLV was in control here. And they just played stupid. They just played dumb, man. And the city of Las Vegas, the entire college basketball world, is just laughing at UNLV right now, and at Josh Pastner and at the team, and they deserve it, man. How can you play? I can't, guys. Let's go through some more comments here. TBH, I don't know why we do what we do. Every single game we're in foul trouble. It's like we foul on purpose. Seriously, no laughs, no jokes. It's like they're trying to set a record for fouls. They just don't play under control. I mean, this team doesn't have discipline. The guys can't control their own emotions. There's some talented dudes on this team, but you can't. I mean, like, Pastner can't get these guys to play disciplined basketball. The fact that they're all so surprised when they commit fouls. Yeah, I mean, they're fouling. I mean, like, listen, a lot of these stupid fouls that UNLV committed, these were not the result of refs calling phantom whistles. I mean, not every call was perfect, but UNLV was legitimately fouling. I love the Rebels, but no matter what side you're on, that was the worst officiated game I've ever seen. I totally agree. They're point shaving. Half the players are actively trying to foul out. It seems like it. Who wants the rest of my tickets? I actually started wanting them to lose for how bad they were down the stretch. They didn't deserve to bid one bit. No, they didn't. Michael asked, what happens when you run out of players? What happens is generally there's a technical foul, and I believe the other team gets to shoot 2 free throws. They get the ball, and then I believe you are allowed to play with 4 players. And I think you're even allowed to play with 3 players, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But there's a technical foul, and the other team gets to shoot 2 free throws and get the ball. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. Kind of feels like it. Just lost my parlay, bro. Sorry, man. I can't absolutely live it. Absolutely ridiculous. Can't believe this happened. Yeah, mom, I totally agree. I mean, just an outrageous game. Come on, you get an NIL raise when fouling. Maybe. Hodgson and Olin look just fine right now. Yeah, I mean, not that Brian Hodgson is lighting the world on fire at USF, but he's doing a lot better than Passner is. As a Mountain West Conference fan, that's exactly what I expected from this game. How does Walter Brown foul out? He fouls out because he was asked to play center because Jacob Benarbi, Emmanuel Steffen, and obviously Tyron Jones was out. So nobody else could play center, and Walter Brown essentially, to prevent the other team from just getting layups, had to take a bunch of fouls. Walter Brown fouling out was I mean, his last foul was, again, just why are you hip checking a guy like for no reason? But yeah, Walter Brown's fouling out is probably the most understandable. I think the season was kind of cooked when Che and Laji were out. To be honest, guys, like, yeah, like Che and Laji would help, but like, would you expect this team to be playing smart if Che and Laji were playing? Like, would you be expecting these guys to respect basketball? I can't say that you would. The team's basketball IQ, and again, I'm going to keep saying this just so I don't have anybody. I'm not trying to insult them as people, but this team's basketball IQ is awful, and I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be awful even if Miles Che and Laji Dembele were available. Does Josh think no one is watching and he can just go on Paloma show and make it all better by making empty promises? No, I mean, Josh is frustrated for sure, but like, and Josh knows in theory the things that need to be done and the things that he needs his players to do, but he can't get his players to do them. It's not just about knowledge. It's about being able to motivate and teach guys how to play disciplined basketball. And Josh has just gotten an F- on that for so much of the year because this team is, I'm sorry. I saw them go up and beat Utah State and Logan. I saw them play a really good game for 38 minutes against a not terrible, I mean, not great, but not terrible Fresno State team this game. This team's capable of not being awful, but not if they're playing stupid. And Josh hasn't gotten them to play smart. And you don't have to be a uber talented team to respect basketball fundamentals. And this team doesn't do that. This team, you don't have to be an uber talented team to be able to quiet your emotion and not get a million technical fouls and end up fouling out of the game and making your team lose. You know, those things do not, Shea and Laji Dembele do not change anything about those things. You have to be able to control your emotions, and this team just doesn't control them. I mean, this is it's a joke of a cohesive unit right now. Does Josh think? Okay, a couple more comments. You don't foul at all. I hate Passner. Play defense. Absolutely abysmal. This is the most embarrassing game I've ever seen. Like you said, we deserve nothing more than to lose this game. You can't even be mad about it. I'm not mad about the loss. I mean, if you disrespect the game of basketball like this, you deserve to lose. There's just no way around it. This season might, there's a decent chance this season's just cooked here. And I mean, obviously we weren't going to be a great team. We weren't going to contend in the Mountain West really, but like a game like this, how do you recover from it? I don't even know. Like I have no idea how you mentally and emotionally recover from a game like this. Yeah, it was one of the worst. Yeah, Cash Day 850 live. Good job, Paul. Good job. No one asked. That one possession where we should have fouled, they managed not to foul and let them tie the game. Yeah, I mean, listen, man. Again, Josh Pastner earlier in the season had a game versus Boise State where Boise State was down 3. And Boise State ultimately hits a 3-pointer and, and like UNLV could have fouled and UNLV elected not to foul. And then again, they're in another scenario and everybody was trying to clown on me for saying, oh, well, they ended up winning the game anyway. Who cares? It's just good process to foul. It's smarter. Fresno State has a couple of dudes that are excellent 3-point shooters, and your guys aren't playing defense. And Jacob Benarbi's on the floor, and he has a knee injury and can't move. Just foul. Just foul. I'm sorry, your reasoning is not sound. You have to foul in that situation. And but again, I mean, when I see his players making awful decisions, would I really expect the coach to be making anything but awful decisions too? No, I wouldn't. Coach Passner made just as many dumb decisions. I mean, like that was really the one that came to my mind, but like as a coaching decision. But I think there were times he could have called timeout where he didn't. And I just think he couldn't keep his guys emotionally, composed to finish out this game. And they were going to lose as a Mountain Fest rooting for us. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's Poly Market had 3 cents to win and 1 cent to win with 5 in a second. Wow. If I see Josh Pastner outside, I might slap him. No, don't do that. Pastner's a good guy. He just can't get his team to play the right way. Fire every ref involved. There never should have been 80 free throws in a college basketball game. I totally agree. And yeah, like Pastner's not going to get fired, guys. I'm sorry to tell you here. Yeah, I mean, Pastor's not going to get fired. The school invested a bunch in him. His payout is they're not going to spend $6 million for buyouts in the course of 2 years to fire coaches. Like, sorry, you effed up. You effed up with the Kevin extension that you had to spend $3 million to fire him. And you might have, and you very likely effed up with this hire. So I got nothing, man. Fresno fan here. Felt like that was a game of who has the worst coach tonight. Didn't think anyone could outdo Vance. Yeah, I think Fresno's coach is terrible. I think that program's dead in the water, just like UNLV is right now, to be honest. And yeah, how do you turn the ball over with the 1 second left? You got the footage. Post the game. I mean, I think you can find it. Somehow this program continues to find new ways to, I think I got to go through your guys. I got to go through his comments a little faster here. In your life, have you ever seen a game play more poorly? I'm sorry, but you can't really blame UNLV that much. The refs should not be allowed to be that involved. UNLV was actively making dumb decisions that cost themselves that game. It was not just the referees. Now the refs were abysmal. They were terrible. They couldn't keep control of the game. But UNLV's players also couldn't control their own emotions and couldn't control their own bodies and couldn't stop acting dumb and committing stupid fouls. So as much as I want to be pissed at the refs, like this game was completely in UNLV's control. I'm sorry. The announcer's called Stefan a brick wall. Yeah, Stefan, you ever seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Stefan's like one of the brick walls from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, he looks, he kind of looks the part a little bit, but something's just not quite right. True, but you can definitely blame them. By the way, if there's point shaving involved, UNLV was 1.5 to start the game. Just saying, yeah, 100% point shaving. Nas Cunningham smiled and laughed as the game was thrown away. Listen, I don't know. Let's see. If Che and Lajee are here, how many games more are we really winning? I think we're like an 18, maybe like a 19 win team if Che and Lajee play. We're better for sure, but I don't think this team. I just don't think this team respects basketball. Josh needs to work out of the Finley used car lot. Yeah. Does Jones leave after the season is over? It's very likely. Jones is going to be a hot. Tyron Jones, who would have really helped in this game, is going to be a hot commodity in the transfer portal just because he's so talented. And I'm sure a team's going to want to bet on his potential. So I would expect Tyron Jones to be gone after this season. I'm going to keep going through comments. If I skip your comments, I'm very sorry. I quit watching. They were down by 8 with like 50 seconds. Can't believe I won my bet. Waiting for highlights to be posted because no clue what happened. You're in for a treat, Justin Browning. The refs were brutal to be sure, but this team is making tons of dumb mental mistakes. Yeah. What just happened? That was the most rigged thing I've ever witnessed. I mean, if by rigged you mean the UNLV players were trying to lose, you may have a point there. That team's 100% getting investigated. I don't know who had a parlay on this team. Will this game be investigated in your opinion? No. UNLV's been dumb like this all year. This is not something that hasn't been the case, the character of this team all season. Is this the most top 3 embarrassing loss in UNLV history? Probably not. Probably some of the blowout home losses to teams are probably worse than this. Although I don't know. I mean, maybe. Maybe. Josh Letterty said he should have fouled against Boise. No Nick Aquino chirps from you tonight. Nope. I haven't heard Nick tonight. I don't think he's watching the show. This loss is inexcusable. How do you lose a game with 6 seconds left? UNLV has the talent similar to UNF. I totally agree. Had to drink 2 glasses of wine just to feel something besides pain. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hey, if you're a Fresno State fan, congrats. That's a really fun game that you can enjoy. A really fun comeback. Congrats, man. Nothing to say tonight. I got nothing for you, Mafia. Yeah, maybe the Mafia in Vegas is investigating UNLV. So, where do the Rebels go from here? It's hard to say. Frankly, I don't think that they have a clean out. They're just going to have to do their best. But there's a really good chance that, like I said, that this team is cooked. And I want to thank you guys. We got to 1,000 live viewers on the stream tonight. So very fun. We haven't had one of these in a while. But yeah, I mean, if you want to if you want a sequence of events, UNLV's up by like 6. They commit. I mean, the way that this officiating crew was reviewing flagrant fouls was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in my life. Can Dan Mullen coach basketball? Was that an obvious flagrant foul in your opinion? It was based on the way that they were calling it all night. Um, like it did not surprise me that Fresno State got a flagrant foul on that play and the ball. Um, I mean, they were going to get the ball anyway, if because it was basically just kind of a wash, and Fresno State got to get 2 points, with basically no time coming off the clock. But no, I mean that wasn't an obvious flagrant foul. But the way that this game was officiated, it was going to be called that way. So, I mean, I just don't even, guys, I just don't even like know. I don't know what to like. I don't know what to take away from that. I guess before we end out tonight, I just want to point out how ridiculous this game was one more time because we have so many people watching. So I want to make sure that we emphasize just how ridiculous this game was. So here's the game by game. This is the play by play. Let's go to the second half. I think. Let's do the second half here, and let's go down to the bottom here. So UNLV is up. Let's see. 89-80 with 133 to go with Al Green making a free throw. There's a foul on Isaac Williamson. It was a dumb foul. Zayon Collins, I believe, makes both free throws to make it 89-82. UNLV commits a turnover, a dumb pass by Nas Cunningham. Again, UNLV is at like only a 91.7% chance to win at that point. It's ridiculous. Howie Fleming commits a foul on the fast break. Fresno State actually misses one of their 2 free throws, so it's 89-83. Kamani Hamilton gets fouled, goes to the line with 120 to go, makes it 90-83, just in case you guys are wondering how this happened. Kamani Hamilton missed the second one, so UNLV misses a free throw there. And then Kamani Hamilton just inexplicably fouls out, just with a dumb foul. UNLV, Zayon Collins, I believe, makes one of 2 free throws. So again, it's not like Fresno State was even hitting all their free throws. It's 90-84. Howie Fleming gets a defensive rebound. There is a double technical foul on both teams on the bench. Then you get a Howie Fleming turnover, a foul followed by a foul on Emmanuel Steffen. So Emmanuel Steffen, who only played 18 minutes tonight, fouls out again. Jake Heidebrigger gets up there, makes 2 free throws to make it a 4-point game with 36 seconds to go. They end up having to foul. UNLV makes both free throws to make it 92-86 with 28 seconds to go. Then we get a UNLV basically just doesn't play defense, just goes down the floor, just gives Fresno State a wide open shot, doesn't play defense. You get a timeout with 22 seconds to go. Then you get a foul. UNLV makes both free throws up 5 with 12 seconds to go. Then you get the Walter Brown foul, which is just an outrageous foul. No idea why he did that. You end up with 2 free throws made by Fresno State. You get this odd Al Green with 6 seconds to go technical foul, flagrant foul. And both teams essentially get 2 free throws. Al Green makes them both. Reber makes them both. And so it's 6 seconds to go. Fresno State has the ball. With 1 second to go, David Douglas makes a 32-foot 3-point jumper. UNLV elects not to foul. And then you get an awful pass from Howie Fleming, a turnover, which gives Fresno State the ball on the baseline. Fresno State, of course, with about a second to go, their best player, UNLV, plays pretty bad defense on him, and he makes a shot at the buzzer, and UNLV goes from a 96.7% chance of winning with 6 seconds to a 97% chance of winning with 6 seconds to go to losing 6 seconds later. So that's how the night went down. Walk-on Cunningham played 0 minutes and was -7. I like how you keep skipping my 2 comments, Jason. I'm sorry, Tommy. There's just so many comments I haven't been able to see all of them. I would like to go OT. Would like to see a 3-on-5. Yeah, that would have been funny. I'm sorry, Tommy. I missed your comments. Where do your best team. I'm actually really confused on how our women's team is actually competent, yet our men's team is a complete 180. Yeah, I don't know why Howie threw the ball across court. Y'all fouled too much. True. Famed murderer Zayon Collins. Ooh, my bad, Tommy. Janet, it's just painful to hear you go play by play on how we lost. Yeah, I mean, that was about as bad of a loss as you can possibly imagine. So all right, guys, I'm gonna basically end it here. It's okay, Aztec Fight. You're good, man. We deserve to lose. I'm not gonna. I'm not too mad. I'm missing any comments here from the top. I'm so sorry, guys, if I was not able to get to your comments tonight. I've been trying to go through as many as I can, but I've had like hundreds. Should the Thomas and Max upper deck be tarped off until further notice? We're just numb to the ineptitude of this program at this point. They're not going to do that. It would devalue. There's season ticket holders that have tickets up there, so they would have to kind of change the way that they do ticketing. And they're just not going to do that. I don't see them ever tarping off the top of the Thomas and Mack, although I wouldn't. I mean, I actually I don't really want them to do that. I think that's just kind of an embarrassing move. And the minute you start doing that, you're kind of giving up. So always good to see Bully. Everybody make sure you subscribe to Bully's channel. He's awesome. So guys, I'm going to end it there. I got nothing else to say. That was rough. That was really rough. And I'm excited to read the post game comments. And I'll just reiterate this again as we kind of close the season out. Laji Dembele, Michael and Miles Che were not going to make this team competent. Not when this team plays this dumb. And that's not to say they wouldn't. Obviously, they'd be better. Like they'd be better, and maybe they would be as good as the worst Kevin Kruger team. Maybe, but this team doesn't respect basketball. They just make dumb decisions all the time. And the officials were a disgrace in that game. That game was an affront to the game of basketball. And most importantly, and lastly, yeah, Josh will still do the radio show. He has a contract to do that. So I'll just say that never in the annals of history has a team deserved to lose more than UNLV deserved to lose tonight. Bravo. Bravo, guys. I still love the Rebels. I'm still going to be there on Saturday to watch them play Grand Canyon. Can't imagine we're going to get a great crowd, but I implore you to come out, hang out. I mean, I'm sure they'll do $4 beers. I'm sure there'll be some fun promotions. I hope you'll come out and hang out with me. Shoot me a message to Thomas and Mac if you want to meet up. I'll still be there. I don't expect the attendance for the home game against GCU to be very good. Also, go check out the video that I did breaking down the Mountain West media deal that was released today on my YouTube channel. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your night. I appreciate you guys. Please, please, please be safe. And I still love the Rebels. Nothing can take my love away of the running Rebels, but they're testing my patience right now. Or as Scooby-Doo, as Shaggy said in Scooby-Doo, you're pushing your luck, pal. So, all right, guys, have a great night. I'll talk to you later.